All right, I legit just landed. Let's see, it's 9:25 Phoenix time, and I left at 4 o'clock Detroit time, which means it's 11 o'clock Detroit time. Not saying that I'm the hardest worker. I'm not saying that. I'm just telling you. And you might be noticing the new sweatshirt. Hold on, let me show you. I got a Barry Sanders jersey. It's my first jersey of my life. I've never had a jersey in my life, so I'm kind of hyped up about that. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I spent a lot of money in Detroit this weekend, and if you tell my wife, you're a snitch and you're a loser and you're a jerk and I hate you, just know that. But it was a ton of fun, and I'm excited to talk about it. I'm excited to talk about Lions winning, Red Wings okay, Pistons, European Minute, NFL, NCAA. We got a lot to talk about, so let's get into the show. All right, let's start off with the podcast with a like and subscribe. If you like and subscribe, you get it for free today. I'm just kidding. Lions, people. The Lions are the hottest team in football. 2 wins, back to back. Bears, Packers, division champs. Beating the division teams, back to back. That's amazing. That is amazing. The defense didn't look terrible at times. The offense looks great. They've got a great offensive line. Running game looked good. The wide receiver is hurt. The wide receiver core is hurt, and it still looked good. I'll let you fill in the pieces on what looked bad on the offense. But look, 2 straight wins. 2 of them. A couple of weeks ago, maybe even 2 weeks ago, it was, hey, maybe it's time to put Dan Campbell out to pasture. Oh, I'm back. I'm back, baby. Not anymore. The Lions have a 2-game win streak. Who thought that was even possible? Some of us were talking about us losing out. What? Amazing. The other thing that was so fun was I was actually in the Detroit airport flying back here to Phoenix, and it was interesting because there was like a conglomerate. There was a couple of us Lions fans. We were at a bar, and A74 was good. But there was a couple Bear fans. It was very interesting. So we're going to the fourth quarter, and the Bears are up 14, and they're feeling good about themselves. And all the Bear fans are sitting there going, yeah, this is great. We're winning. We're beating the Lions. This is fantastic. Then all of a sudden, it started to slip away. Then Jeff Okudah gets the pick 6. And then the Bears run all the way down, and then when Jeff Okudah has that interception for a touchdown, all of them are like, "Oh, that's we kind of want to lose this game. We don't even want to win this game." Then Justin Fields breaks off for a 79-yard run or however many yards it was, and they're up 6, and they're like, "Yes, we're winning, we're gonna win this game." Then they miss the extra point, and they're like, "Well, that's perfect for us because now we open the door to lose." And then the Lions come back and win, and they're like, "Oh, thank you for winning that game. Thank you for winning that game. We didn't want to win that game anyway. This is perfect." Look, I like tanking just like the other guy, right? I want Bryce Young just as bad as anybody in the whole entire world, right? But beating your division rival is worth losing a couple of draft positions, okay? And then my dad would say, well, don't you know that you lose the draft positions in every round, not just the first round? Yes, I understand how this works, but the point still stands. I will take winning in Chicago over picking 5th. Like, if I have to pick 6th instead of 5th, but I get to beat Chicago in Chicago, I will trade that every single moment of every single day. That's an easy trade. Beautiful. I love beating the Bears. I love beating that fan base. I love it. I live for it. Dan Campbell's doing this right. He starts to lose, not looking that good. Season's starting to slip. People are making podcasts about, hey, maybe it's time to take him out to pasture after he loses to the Cowboys in Miami. Then he wins back-to-back division rival games. I'm back on Dan Campbell keeping his job at the end of the year, at the very least, and giving him a chance. Why not? He's fun. Can he win a Super Bowl? No. Neither can I think he can be just like Mike Vrabel. I think he can be a very good coach, win a lot of playoff games, win a lot of games, but never really win a Super Bowl. That's fine. I would take that career right now. I think he can be that. But hey, what a win. But I'm going to be the bad guy now. Here's bad guy Pierce. Let me bring you back down to earth. Next week, you're in New York to play the Giants, who are extremely hot. Then it's Thanksgiving at home against Buffalo. Then you get Jacksonville. Then you get Minnesota. Then you go to the Jets. Then you go to Carolina, right? And you know what? I'm not going to be the bad guy. I'm not going to be that bad guy because now I'm seeing 4 wins on the schedule. We could beat New York, we could beat Jacksonville, we could beat New York, and we could beat Carolina, and there's 4 wins, and that gets us to 7. And then we can beat Chicago at home, that gets us to 8. And we're only 2 games out of the wild card. Why not? Why not? Why can't we be a wild card team? I just drew it up. I just literally drew it up. I literally drew up how we could be a playoff team. I'm in. I'm in if you're in. Hell, why not? And we can't beat Green Bay. We're just not. I mean, come on, guys. Come on. We can't do that. Damn it, I'm in. I love it. Dude, I love winning in the NFL. It's a ton of fun. I wish the Lions would do it more. I'd be so happy. Whew. 2 games away from a wild card spot. That's pretty good. No, it's not. It means the NFC sucks, but not the point. Good win, big win. Awesome for us. Awesome for our team. Awesome for Dan Campbell. I'm so happy for him. Big winning streak. 2-game winning streak. Second highest team in the league, it feels like. And it's just feels good. It just feels good to win one. All right. Let's talk about coming down from earth, but I think this time I'm actually being serious. I'm wearing it now. I've got the colors on. Red Wings. So I do the live stream on Tuesday. Montreal losing the shutout. Didn't show up in the third period. Then I didn't watch the Rangers game because I was flying. 8-2 loss with Husso on net. And then on Saturday night in Los Angeles, 4-3 loss with Nedeljkovic. Right now, we're still right there in the playoff mix. We're right there. But it's going to be interesting. This is a tough time to go on a losing streak because it's hard because you don't get a home game because we're just doing this West Coast trip with going to Anaheim on Tuesday, then going to San Jose on Thursday, then we go to Columbus on Saturday. It's hard when you're on the road and you're trying to get that mojo back. It's going to be interesting to see what they do on Tuesday or Thursday, which, by the way, I'll be doing live stream on my YouTube page. I don't know if I'm doing Tuesday or Thursday just yet. I've got to get a couple things nailed down. But it'll be very interesting to see how they react. It's a young squad on the road in the West Coast. They can't really bounce off of the home crowd and try to get them back a game. It's going to be very interesting to see how they bounce back and try to get those engines going. A veteran team probably can do that. A veteran team is used to this. They've been through this, and they can get back on track. It'll be interesting to see if a young team led by Dylan Larkin can really get this thing back on track soon. Be doing a live stream either Tuesday or Thursday. I just got to get a couple things live down, so make sure you like and subscribe and hit the bell. Ding. That was a terrible ding. Ding. To get information on a notification when I do go live. Sorry, it's been a long day. Got to get a water break. All right, on to the Pistons. Not very much to talk about, other than the fact that we lost to the Celtics twice and the Knicks once this week. Cade Cunningham's been out. Killian Hayes looks amazing. He stepped up. But I guess the greater picture, and I think I'm going to harp on this all year long. Every week, I feel like I'm going to be saying this. This team just doesn't feel like it's ready. The bench is so bad, and it just feels like they're really young and not ready to take that next step to being great or even like being a playoff team. I feel like they're still one piece away or one superstar away and an actual good bench. And I think Troy Weaver's still trying to build this thing and fly it at the same time. I still have faith in him. I still like the direction. You can still see it going. But I think a lot of things depend on, okay, what's that next year draft pick look like? Is it Wembayama? Can we actually get him? What does that look like? And how do they gel with Cade and Jaden? Because that's the key. I think it's clear that Cade and Jaden are the guys that we're building around. What's that next piece look like? And I'll be interested to see what all right. I just don't know. I really just don't know. All right. It's time for my favorite time. Favorite time of the podcast. It's time to go to that European minute starting now. F1 in Brazil. I'm so hyped for George to win. I'm really sad that George wins, but it gets overshadowed by how horrible of a person Max Verstappen is. Let's call a spade a spade. How do you not let Checo get that position and then have a couple points lead over Leclerc going into the last race? I don't care what has happened in the past at Monaco. I don't care. Checo's done everything for you, Max. Grow up and let him be ahead of you once, you freaking loser child. You're making me hate you and like Lewis, which I thought I'd never say. I'm also extending the time because I don't want to talk about Chelsea losing to Newcastle. We're getting ready for the World Cup's right around the corner. We don't want to get hurt. Newcastle doesn't have anybody. No, Newcastle doesn't have anybody in the World Cup. All of our players in the World Cup. We care about the World Cup. Screw you. And then Burnley beats their crosstown rival, Blackburn Rovers, which was a great game. World Cup preview next week, and I'm convincing myself that I love the U.S. spot. I'm convincing myself that we can get to the semifinals, and that has been your European Minute. I'm telling you. Why not? Why can't the U.S. be in the semifinal? I'll break it down next podcast a little bit more on what I'm thinking and where I'm seeing it. All right, NFL. Just a couple quick things. Vikings. I understand that they beat the Bills in an absolute crazy game. I understand, but they went to Buffalo and beat them. Now, I've looked at all of it. I've looked at their schedule. I've seen it. I've seen all the memes. It's time to start putting some respect on that Vikings team. Now, do I think they can win a Super Bowl? Do I think they can be here in Arizona and win a Super Bowl? No. But do I think they could be hosting the NFC Championship or being in the NFC Championship against the Eagles? Yeah, of course I can. I can definitely see that. I think that's a very real possibility now. I think you have to respect that team. Kirk Cousins has done it again and again, every single week. But now with that win, the road now goes through Kansas City, which makes the AFC extremely interesting. My man's Patrick Mahomes and Jackson Mahomes now has the AFC Championship yet again coming through Kansas City. Bills, you got to win these games. If you want to be in the NFL, if you want to be in the Super Bowl, you've got to win these games and put the Chiefs away because you won the biggest battle by beating them earlier in the year and getting that tiebreaker, but you cannot let your foot off the pedal at home. You've got to put them away because you don't just put the Kansas City Chiefs away in the playoffs. You put them away week 9, whatever week we're in, right? Week 10. You put them away week 10 by beating the Vikings and winning that game and making sure you get that game as a home game. That's where you do it. Now you've let the Chiefs in through the back door, and they're not going to let go. That's an experienced team, and that's what good teams do. They win games ugly, like they did against Jacksonville. They win games, and they host AFC championships, and then they go to the and then they go to the NFL Super Bowl. It's what good teams do. Raiders are really bad. Like, really, really legitimately bad. I don't know how many teams would have lost to the Colts today. I know that Jeff Saturday is going through a ton. That team is going through a ton. I have no idea how many teams would lose to the Colts today, but the Raiders figured out a way to do it. That is crazy how bad they can be. Then finally, I have a question. Right now, the Lions and the Rams are tied. We have the Rams' first-round pick. And now I'm rooting against the Rams because they won the Super Bowl last year. And Matt Stafford doesn't need any more Super Bowls. Are the Lions going to be picking higher or lower than the Rams this year? I don't know. But it's a genuine question that nobody can answer. All right, last topic of the day. NCAA, Michigan, Nebraska. The vlog will be coming out later this week. Probably early Monday. They won't come out Monday. It'll probably come out Wednesday. Yeah, it'll come out when the vlog will be coming out Wednesday. Michigan, Nebraska. Michigan fans were so nice. It was such a great game. I realized it was. I'll talk about this in the vlog a little bit more. But the fans were really nice when they realized that Nebraska was really bad. I noticed I thought that was very interesting. The big house was cool. The only part that sucked was that it was freaking cold. I'm an Arizona boy now, okay? I know I have Detroit in my heart, which I'll talk about in final thoughts. But it is, I'm not used to this. It's 65 out, and I'm freezing. It was hardcore snowing in 35. It was not much fun to be in, but it was a fun game. It was cool to go to the big house. First time I've ever been to the big house. But for me, here's my top. Let's talk about the NCAA football. Oregon really, really shot themselves in the foot. I'm a big Bo Nix guy. They shot themselves in the foot multiple times. That defense looked bad. They should have called a timeout on 4th down and ran the QB sneak with Bo Nix because he said he was healthy. Kind of stinks that their kind of season and that kind of Heisman Trophy chances ended just like that. And now they've let Clemson back in, to be honest with you. But here is my top 6 right now, and let me know what your top 6 is. My top 6 is extremely bland. Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan. Unfortunately, TCU, You have to put them at 4. They've won all their games. They've done what they need to do. Tennessee at 5, and I flip-flop for my 6. I'll put USC. Yeah, I'm going to put USC over LSU. Tell me what your top 6 is. But the fact that the reason why I have Ohio State over Michigan is because of what I saw with my eyeballs. Michigan and Michigan fans don't feel like they can put teams away. They don't feel like they can, blow people out and score 50 on you. They just don't feel like it. And then somebody's going to show me a screenshot of the Rutgers game. But they just don't feel like they can do that on a consistent basis, especially against good teams. I mean, they did not. I mean, if Nebraska was a decent team, they would have put 21 on them. And it's just I feel like nobody can do that against Ohio State. I don't know. I'm about to have a ton of people screenshot me and be like, "You're an idiot. Here's where Ohio State, blah, blah, blah." But that's not the point. I just feel like it's more aesthetic. Ohio State is more aesthetically pleasing than Michigan. That's just why I have them at 2. It's the eyeball test. And I'm sorry. I fell for it. But Georgia's clearly number 1. TCU, you have to put at 4. Tennessee, I think you have to put at 5. And USC, I think you should put at 6 because they are the Pac-12 champion. And it'll be interesting to see how this all shakes out. It'll be interesting to see how this shakes out. But here are my final thoughts. It's been a while since I've been in Detroit. I've had a lot going on in my life. Moving. I'm here in Phoenix. If I could draw it up, I'd be in Detroit in a heartbeat. But, I got a wife who doesn't want to scoop snow anymore. I love Detroit. I love the people. I love the city. I think it has just such a beautiful charm. It was kind of funny because I got to take my friends there for the first time. And they're like, "What? This place is kind of dirty, it's just I don't know. Detroit just has a charm, and it's hard to put into words. But the people in the streets and just the attitude, I love that city, and I love that people. And if I could move there, I would do it in a heartbeat. I mentioned this in the cold open, but I spent an ungodly amount of money, so much money that I'm gonna go to Vegas in a couple weeks, and I'm like, I don't know if I can go to Vegas anymore because I bought 8 things from the Tigers team shop. I think I bought 7 things from Rally House because nothing was open for some reason. But yeah, I just love that city. I love the people, and I love you guys, man. I love doing it. I love talking. It just going to Detroit and seeing all of the sights and sounds and seeing all the people, and it made me fall in love with it again. I went to Ford Field. I did a tour, and I got to see that again, and it's a beautiful city, and I wouldn't trade that city for the world. It's amazing. It's cleaning up a little bit, but it's amazing. God bless. Go Detroit sports. The reign of terror is coming, people. All 4 of our teams right here, they're all going to be playoff teams in 2 years. Trust me. You can count on it. You can count on it. God bless. Love you, city of Detroit. I love you. I love you. I love you. God bless. Go Detroit sports.